One. Hey, welcome to this episode of Cocktails and Convos. Today we are talking all about insecurities and what that kind of looks like in all of our lives. So I'm just going to jump right in because we're getting a little bit of a late start today. So I'm going to jump right in and introduce all of our guests. So first up we have Sidra.
Hi, I'm Sidra. I run Lasting Royal Locks. So if you need your hair retwisted, I got you. Hit me up, DM, go ahead and hit me up.
Okay, and what did you make to drink today?
I made what's called Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder consists of 3 olive, some peach liqueur, peach schnapps, and several other liquors and ginger ale, and it's Blue Thunder.
Right.
All right. She is going to be in stores soon.
Yes.
She's going to be selling that shit.
It's going to be behind the bars and everything, so Blue Thunder.
Okay.
It smell like jelly beans.
Next up, we have Angel.
Hi, family. I'm Angel. I'm a bar manager, and I'm doing this whole whiskey thing. So, whiskey and Sprite.
Okay. All right. And next up, we have Nakia, or Tut, or Soki, whichever you prefer to call her.
Soaky.
Okay, whichever one however she introduces herself is how she gonna be called.
That's pretty much the way it goes. Well, hello. My name is Nakia. I am the chef and owner of Madri's Memorable Meals. We do catering, we do plates, and we do desserts. So if you're ever hungry, come holler at your girl.
Okay, and what are you drinking, Mama?
Today, I am drinking one of my favorite cocktails. It's one of my old school favorites. It's called a Royal Flush. Little Crown Royal peach schnapps and cranberry.
Okay. And then last but not least, we have PL.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Pierre. You can catch me bartending. We're doing bar mitzvahs, mazel tov, catering.
He's got that mazel tov shit down packed.
Bartending, catering.
DJ.
I do carpeting, DJing,
Everything.
Everything.
singing, songwriting, entrepreneurs. It is what it is. And today I'm drinking. I'm actually drinking a Bullet Rye and Sprite.
Okay.
Shaken, not stirred.
Oh, James Bond.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yes.
Okay. So jumping into the topic of insecurities, we've had a little bit of shift in what we were going to discuss tonight.
Right.
So tonight we're talking about insecurities and kind of what that means to all of us. So starting out, I just want to say, just on my behalf, I grew up dealing with like an extreme amount of insecurities just from the fact that I was always like dark skinned and had big lips and big nose and everything. So just growing up, especially in like a predominantly white area, it was very difficult kind of like dealing with all of that. But now that I'm older, not 30 yet, but now that I'm a little older, I've learned to kind of embrace a lot of that stuff, and I think there's been a little bit of like a cultural shift. So I just want to talk to you guys to see like in what ways have you guys kind of dealt with your own insecurities?
I'll start.
Okay.
I mean, I've dealt with insecurities majority of my life. In school, I was a tomboy. I used to wear my hair back in a ponytail, throw some jeans on, shirt, play basketball with the boys. I had a good time. That was me. But, I had the insecurities of other female friends or female associates that would, oh, well, you're supposed to be a girl. You're too tomboy. And then when I wanted to be the whole dress up girly, I felt overweight, trying to be the cut and everything. So it was just like I didn't feel comfortable wearing the things back then, to where now I just feel like this is me. You can accept me for who I am, whether or not you like it or not. It was always a weight thing that affected me, as far as I would see myself a certain way that other people didn't.
Right.
So I would literally have to make changes to where I felt better.
Okay.
So those were challenges from growing up to even now. I still sit here and see myself as I still have some, imperfections.
Well, we all do. Everybody does.
Yeah.
True.
So
it really doesn't matter as far as age. It's just how you look at yourself, how you see yourself. You may hear
cope
people
with it as well.
Exactly. You may hear people tell you, "Oh, you're gorgeous, you're this, you're that," but how you see yourself is different.
it might conflict with everything that you might feel.
Right.
All right, Angel, what about you?
Oh goodness. Being in my
You may have to
industry.
talk a little louder.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
Like, she
Okay.
talked loud.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm just a little nervous. I won't say nothing crazy. I know.
Say whatever.
That's what this is for. That's this forum.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
I work in an adult entertainment industry. So,
Shut up.
yeah, I babysit hookers.
Oh, when you said it, I was like, okay, I don't know.
I used to
what that means,
babysit.
but-
Yeah.
I did too. I started out working at
I retired. I was like,
Yes,
Keep
I still
going.
do.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with it. I believe beauty is made in every shape, size, fashion, and form. But when you see the extent that people go to fit this mold, shots and surgeries and lip fillers and hair extensions and all this other craziness, and I just believe, God doesn't make any mistakes.
Right.
So you are who you are, and you're made the way you are. I'm half German, half black. So on both ends of that, like when I go to one side of the family, I don't fit in over there
Okay.
because my hair doesn't curl the same way.
Mhm.
But then when I go to the other side of the family, my pigment is a little too dark, and I don't pronunciate my words all the way to their liking, so I don't really fit in with them either. So I just tell people, whatever skin you're in, just be
Just live it.
comfortable and love it and live it. My children will tell you I have embarrassed them at any extent because I tell them all the time, I made you, you're beautiful, and don't ever change it for anybody.
Okay. So before we go to Nakia, I forgot we were totally supposed to taste this beer, and I just blew right past it. Blew right past it. Okay, so the first beer that we're tasting is a pretty standard one, local here, Sweetwater 420. I think it's a 5.7 ABV. It's a pale ale. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Okay.
Salud.
Salud.
What do you guys think of this one? I'm sure most of y'all have had this one before.
Yeah. It's
Nakia's face said it all.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like IBAs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't like IBAs.
I don't really care for IBAs either.
Me
but
neither.
This one was actually better than from our last segment.
Okay.
This don't taste like dishwater.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's not bad, but
It's not bad.
It's not your thing.
it's not my thing.
It's not
I'm a
something
laundry.
that I would go buy at the
It's
store.
better with the orange though.
Yeah.
If you put the
So
orange in
what
it,
difference does the orange make
the
though?
citrus actually interacts with the hop,
Oh really?
and it brings it down a notch.
So is that the same with the Blue Moon as well? Do you drink Blue Moon?
Yeah, I drink.
Are you a fan of 420?
No, I'm not.
Are you a fan of Blue Moon?
This is like all
a little
hops.
better than this. It's just a smoother ale. It's a smoother
It's a Belgian.
blend. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not as hoppy.
All right. All right, Kiki. Go ahead, girl.
Well, I too have dealt with weight issues. I'm still a big girl, but now I know I'm fluffy and fine.
Yes.
Preach.
Hello.
But just growing up around kids. Kids can be ruthless and whatnot. And we say whatever comes to our mind when we were children. So I did experience that more often with boys, but then I found like you were the boy that really liked me. So
Right.
you can say what you want, but you was the one that liked me. But anyway, I just dealt with that, and it's always been a struggle. But then also I've learned to accept it and accept myself for who I am, and just keep it as simple as that.
Because now thick thighs save lives.
Hello,
all of it.
hello.
But it was the funniest thing because everything that I got picked on when I was younger are all the things that men like
are
me
attracted
now.
to now.
Yeah, it's like the lips, all of it.
Yeah.
But it's like bell bottoms.
How is it like bell bottoms?
Because
Everything comes back.
everything's come back.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily saying they came back because back then it wasn't there.
It wasn't the thing.
It wasn't a thing, but now as we're older and we carry ourselves differently, now it's a thing.
Well, that's because we're going older and we know ourselves more.
We're more comfortable with ourselves.
We might be,
True.
but not necessarily.
Not
And
all.
We'll pick that up like
Correct.
somewhere later down the
Correct.
like. Yeah, because I think there's still a lot of people that are struggling with a lot of things just because they don't necessarily know themselves.
Yeah.
All right, you got the floor, boom.
That's okay. I got nothing. That's okay. But listen.
I'm perfect.
Okay, so I've been skinny all my life, right? That was like just as the next person would have a problem with being overweight. I had a problem with being underweight, and so it goes hand in hand both ways. So with insecurities, though, that was a problem. I had the same problem as you actually with different sides of the family. Like my mother's side of the family, they were so intellect, spoke with posture, and my dad's side of the family was ratchet as hell. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, actually, that was your drink.
You know what?
That was blue thunder.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But look, I'm gonna tell you how I still to this day I'm a work in progress though as well. How I overcome it to this day as well. It's some people, you know, you have to take the reins. And actually, I'm the most loved in my family, even though I was a black sheep for being different than everybody else. I just stated my dominance for what I believed in. And sometimes people will let you control you. They will control you as long as you let them. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get that in my own head. It's like I refuse to be controlled. I do what's right. So I'm doing what you like me to do as growing up as a child. But I'm gonna make my own way, and that made me feel better as myself, and that's what gives me the pride and made me happy and live a good life day to day and wake up with a smile. And it's been working out for me, and I'm gonna continue to roll with that.
So how old were you once you kind of like re-grabbed that control and saying like, hey, I'm not even gonna let y'all keep with the shit. Like I'm no longer even accepting this in my life.
Okay, so it was I would like to say a certain age, but I went through it at an age that at like 12 was the first time that my grandmother on my father's side, the ratchet side, and she was like, Pierre, do you? I love you. I don't give a damn
That's
about
mama.
that was a big mama.
Big mama,
you know.
yes.
And she was like, baby, do you? And she pulled me to the side because I was believe it or not, I talk a lot now. Everybody know this about me now, but I was quiet as hell when I was younger though. You know, because I was scared. I was afraid that what I would say would offend somebody. And now, what I say now, usually most people smile because I'm not being offensive. I'm usually just saying what I feel, and it's usually I'm saying something that's lovable because that's not me to say anything that's hateful anyway.
Which I was in the same boat. I was the quiet. Like, I just kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't popular, I wasn't unpopular, but I was just the standoffish one to where I didn't say anything because I was afraid, like, if I say something, that's going to bring attention to me. Keep my mouth shut. But as getting older, going through different experiences, it's just like that filter said, hey! He's gonna go away.
And see, you know what you probably didn't know when you were growing up. When I was just listening to you tell about your childhood, like when you were saying, "Oh, I was a tomboy, and I used to play sports and kicked it with." You don't realize that. Let me speak from the male point of view, being the only male here. You was the one that everybody loved. And listen,
I was the one that got along with everybody.
Yeah, and they were just too insecure about themselves to be able to say, "That's who I really like."
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was like the homeboy buddy, you know, with the guys and the girls, you know, I got along with them, but it wasn't like, oh, I did makeup and I got dressed up and everything. It was, you know, you could talk to me and this is where it stays. Or either I was like a mediator. So it was more of I was just kind of in limbo type thing. Like I had a crush, but it was like I was so insecure about even opening my mouth to say anything. He was like my best friend. And even still to this day, we still joke and clown on the phone, but my insecurities never allowed me to open up and say, you know, hey, this is how I feel. Literally, we are like brothers and sisters now because it was like, you my homie. You know, I can sit here and shoot the shit with you and watch football, watch basketball, talk everything. And so it was just kind of like, in a way, I wanted to be along with the girls, but then I didn't because I was like, I don't do the makeup. I don't do I mean, I get my nails done now because I like to take care of myself on that end. But as far as the whole dress up, play with dolls, and that was never me.
I think that's like the loving basketball factor.
Right?
Yes.
Same way that they were. They were best friends. They really liked each other, but then...
Yeah, he married now.
See,
well, no, I mean, I wasn't saying that.
It wasn't exactly that story. But yeah, I mean, that was like my younger age too, because nobody really understood me because I moved from Owensboro, Kentucky, which there was...
Owensboro.
Right, exactly. Where is that?
What's the population there?
5.
So there was 10. I was about to say 10.
It's 4 now. Keep going.
So it was literally, there was 3 black families in the whole neighborhood, and it, you know, that's just where I grew up. And then I moved to St. Louis, which was complete culture shock, because then they're like busing kids from the city to these like county schools, and I was just like, I've never seen so many black people in my life.
What age were you at that time when you moved to St. Louis?
I was in 8th grade.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was hard, because then, you know, I was like coming out there all innocent. I'm just like, hey y'all, I just like everybody, you know, like I've been waiting to get around like more black people, and they were like, who this bitch thinks she is? Like they all thought, because they did, because I talked like this, they all assumed or thought something else
were you
about
innocent?
me. I was when I first moved there.
When you
Now-
first moved there.
Now
once I got there, so once I got there,
that good
I
old
was
soil.
tainted. I was tainted. You know.
You were tainted.
I
Or was
was-
it already in you?
It may have already been. I don't know. I mean, I guess I
Just
can't.
woke
Oh,
up.
you went from a black and white TV to a plasma.
Right. So I was just like,
That smart HD.
right.
That's
But
right.
yeah, I mean, it was like so bad. I didn't have any friends. Like I had to eat lunch in the bathroom. I was like, I was like that little sad kid, like from the movies, like the girl who had to like take her lunch.
By herself.
Yeah, and then that's when I was like, I started skipping school and all that shit, because it was like school was hard. School was hard, and I hated being there, because I came from a place where everybody was so nice and friendly to a place where I didn't understand why people were so mean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See, mine's backwards. I came from Brooklyn, New York.
Mm-hmm.
They came in the house?
Yes. I came straight out of
And the-
Brownsville. So it was like, you know, yes, you see, like it is bumper to bumper, wall to wall war every day.
Mhm.
Every day.
You go to school, and again, I go to a predominantly urban school, so I do have a slight temper. But coming from there to Atlanta, Georgia, it's like you get here, nobody understands what you say. Like your accent is very thick.
Mm-hmm.
They always want to pick on you,
Oh,
and you
Angela.
realize,
No.
wait a minute, these people
So you
can't
was
fight.
Angela
Right.
Valdez?
Can't fight.
Yeah.
I was
Angela Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
In New York.
What was she?
Angela Valdez.
Lord, I come on, stop on
Yes, I was clocking heads.
She had a whole power episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was clocking heads.
That's a whole lot of power
I
in
pull my
front.
hair up, because you know I've got my snatcher bitch bun. I will pull my hair up. I will double tie these Timberlands, and we can get it in on the
Let's
block.
do it.
Yeah.
But you know, being from this side of the track, coming here with all my Caucasian family, that didn't sit well with them.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Because you've lived that in like a whole different dynamic than it was for me, because I
Yes.
wasn't.
I
It
just
wasn't
said
familiar.
it was backwards for me.
Yeah,
I came
okay.
from little Vietnam. Like every day, you're having to beat up somebody. You're going to fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're fighting over shoes, if you're fighting over lunch money, if you're fighting over respect, if you're fighting over because your hair doesn't curl, if you fight over, you know, what project you live in. Oh, you live down the block, you're garbage.
Literally.
So
Okay.
you have to literally establish, like from day one, we are not afraid.
So how did that change, like in your family dynamic, like as far as once you move from that environment to being around your Caucasian side?
I'm
Like, how did they
adopted,
receive it?
So
Okay.
definitely very shell shocking. Like
Okay.
you get here and you see these people and they look at you, and like my grandmother's from Germany.
Mm.
So she used to lie to people and tell them we were Samoan or we were
Anything other than
anything
Samoan.
but black. Anything but black. It didn't matter what it was.
It's funny because I feel not to cut you off, but I feel like that is still an insecurity, like within black people, to not even be able
Not
to say
to
like
accept.
I'm black. They want to
Yes.
claim they're like, oh, I got Indian in my family,
Oh.
and oh, I got this, and
How
I'm
many
halfway
times have I heard
Cherokee.
that?
And
Yeah.
you know, like
At the end
That's
of
so
the
true.
day, we are all the same color.
Yeah.
We all get judged the same way.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and because you know Karen feels like she can say XYZ to you. It's not like you can pull out a piece of paper and say, "Well, I'm Asian and Indian
Right,
and everything
right.
else."
You
It don't
look black.
matter. This
Well,
color right
That
here,
is the saddest
black.
part of it, because when you see a black person, how many shades of black do you see?
you see
9,000.
multiple.
Yeah.
Exactly. When
Some
you see a
of it.
white person, that's all you see.
That's it.
Doesn't matter what color white they are.
Well,
Doesn't
unless they
matter.
got suntan,
Yeah.
sunburn,
It doesn't
you
matter
know.
if they're burnt, crispy, overdone, cooked mildly. They're still what they are.
they still are.
And there's no discrimination. When a white person sees another white person, it's
That's
no judgment,
Yeah.
no nothing, and that's the saddest
I
part
sound
about
that
it.
makes so much sense.
Yes.
Which that falls also back into insecurities because you have your lighter tone African Americans that feel like, you know, I'm too white to be associated into the black community.
Exactly.
Or you have the darker African Americans that feel like I'm too dark, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know those of us who are, you know, 30 and above, we all went through that phase where
Yeah.
the darkers, you know, darker tone.
The darkers.
Right. The dark. I'm sorry. The dark
I've been called a
skin.
lot of things, but the darker.
The dark skin was in. But I mean, back in the day, the dark skin was in. Now, you know, you see the light skins are in, and now that we're older, it's look, come on now.
They go back and forth.
It goes
More
back and forth,
chestnut.
depending on what year
Yeah.
it is. Oh, you're talking about men. Dark skinned men have always been in. They've always
Not
been in.
always. I'm sorry. You can't be
No,
a black
that's
piece of
not
paper with
true.
white
Yes.
teeth.
Disagree.
No. I
Disagree.
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 I'll be sure
I totally disagree.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
You got to be
I
brown
disagree.
tone. I'm sorry. I won't do a all
Yeah.
white. I'm sorry. You can't be that light skinned.
Hey, look, I totally disagree. As me being the male here, dark skin has not always been in.
Okay.
This is period. And look, I've lived through this. Listen, it was a point in time where I would not get any attention. No matter how charismatic I was, how
Because you
outgoing.
fall in the middle of light skin and the dark skin.
Yes, but that depends on the season.
Oh,
Them-
Lord.
so
Okay.
listen,
Yeah.
I could be
Hold on, hold on,
ebony
hold on.
skin tone
Hold on.
at any time. And when I was
We're the same color right now. Hold on. I might be a shade dark. I got different undertone. Different undertone.
It's about to get cold.
I got a red.
Or lighten up.
I got a
Listen,
red undertone.
Wait, you
You
said
do.
it's about to
Okay,
be
hold on.
cold. It's cold.
So
season?
we're about to jump into this next beer. Yeah, we're gonna leave that right there.
All right.
So we're jumping into the next beer. Okay, so for this beer, we are doing another local one. It is the from Scofflaw Brewing Company, the Basement IPA. I know, Nakia, you're not gonna like this one either. It's a 7.5 ABV. I like IPAs. I'm sorry. Okay, next time you come, I'll have something different, or maybe we'll just drink liquor. I don't know, but this is the one that we're trying right now.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
Salud.
Salud. Salud. Ding, 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 ding.
Hit it.
I like this one.
All right.
None of y'all like IPAs?
Oh.
Just me? This is just me? Okay.
Try Jesus.
Okay, so apparently next time I come, I'm not bringing any IPAs because nobody likes them.
Well, no, I can't. You can't say that though.
Not saying
Nobody
none
has
of them.
liked them.
Well,
Nobody has liked not one single
They taste
IPA.
like dishwater.
You just had to work your way up to. I didn't like them at first.
Oh no, I
I'm just trying to bring a little culture
It's
to the
too
group.
much hot. That ain't culture.
I'm just trying to bring a little culture to
That's
the
just
group.
hot.
We're
Well,
just
yeah.
gonna move right on
I
past
agree with
damn
this.
beer.
No. I agree with you. Yeah, because you're making me step outside of my
See,
element.
it's just like stuff that you
It's
would not
trying
normally
something
drink.
different. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hate it, but you're making me
Anyway.
go there. I love it.
Anyway, okay, moving on.
No.
So this segment, we are going to jump all into the topic of insecurities in relationships. I know we've all dealt with that shit. I know I've dealt with that shit. Like, not even particular. Well, yeah, I've dealt with it on my end too. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I was about to lie.
Oh.
But yeah, so let's jump right in. Pierre, I feel like you're a good place to start with this.
Oh my God.
Because you're the only man here to say
Well,
it.
that's okay, because listen, I'm
Camping.
good. Okay, so insecurity with relationships.
Well.
Take us to church.
Okay, so have you ever felt insecure in a relationship? Like with the woman that you were with, was there any situation or anything that happened that caused you to feel insecure about yourself or your dealings with that person?
But the only time I really feel because I thought about it, I took that little second, right? All right, so listen, like the only time that I like off the top, right, and I can jump into this one. It's actually me feeling really insecure with a relationship. It's like, all right, so like y'all can give me y'all opinion, right, as well. Have you ever like, and I know this goes both ways. Have you ever dated someone? All right, so say for instance, I'm gonna just give a scenario. Walking through the mall, you see this man that you think, and I'm speaking for y'all. I mean, you see this man that you think is so handsome. You know what I'm saying? And
We don't say handsome. We say fine.
fine. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway.
Handsome.
Anyway. And then look, but you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about at this age now. I'm talking about if this was tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And you walking through the mall, you going in there just to get this anything, right? And you see this gentleman that you really think is fine as hell. And you know who you are. I'm sitting here with beautiful women right now, right? So y'all can be able to talk to anyone. That's what every woman give off. If they can talk to anyone, they can have what they want to have, and that's what every queen should feel like. You know what I'm saying? But even a woman feel like, oh, I might not go and holler at this chick, holler at this dude because I don't feel like I'm worthy of going to talk to him. And that's the same thing. It goes both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. So, but listen, how about now? Imagine being with one of those people, because we've all been with a person that we thought that we shouldn't probably. How the hell
It's
did
too
I?
good for you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even when you had that person that had sex and y'all been together or maybe in a relationship or you know, you're like, damn, how did I get you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
Why are you really with me?
Yeah, and then you get to question it, and that's what comes to insecurity as well. You know what I'm saying? And so going both ways with the question you just asked, Yvonne. You know what I'm saying? That's the question that I ask myself. Like I've had a beautiful fucking woman say, no, hey, listen, I had a beautiful fucking woman. And question in my mind, like, damn, what the hell? What does she see in me? You know what I'm saying? What does she see in me? Why me? Out of anybody that she can have, whether financially, I'm not stable financially, or you know, everything else. I'm like, I got my own career, but I'm barely holding on. You know what I'm saying? And like being honest, and you know, sometimes that can take some insecurities away when you be honest. And then come to find out, in some places, females love it. Oh,
Yeah.
Because you being honest. Because the last nigga I was with, he was lied and told me he had this condo downtown in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, it was really his partners. And he was sleeping on the couch. And listen, when you came over just every so often, his partner was gone and chicking on his chick crib. Not even out of town, Ebony. He was at his chick crib.
This
This some nigga shit.
This some shit you've experienced.
I'm putting out. I'm the only male. Am I not here?
You know this.
Right. So that's why I'm here, right? Look, he went out. They went out of town. His partner was over his chick crib. And he really camped out on the couch. Yeah, and that's when he invited you over and made it look like everything was like all okie dokie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those build insecurities too, right? And so then you still wonder in your head, why me? Why me? You know what I'm saying? That's an insecurity as well. But listen, I'm gonna tell you something that I deal with. Let me speak for myself. You know, I have to start. You have to start believing in yourself and believing who you are. You know what I'm saying? You deserve it. And then like, this is a whole nother subject matter. But
Lord.
But
we shouldn't have started with Pierre.
You shouldn't have started with me.
We should have went to him at the end.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have known.
You should have. Because also, man, listen, it's like, shit, why not me, first of all? And then it's like, you get to a point where when you so thinking about why me, to where you don't think about yourself. You're thinking like, oh, I gotta prove something to this other person.
Right.
This is an insecurity as well. And back to the subject matter, this is an insecurity itself as well. So you start worrying about that other person and proving to that other person that showing that you really want, or that you feel like you shouldn't be wanted, and that it's a privilege to have. Well, you don't think about yourself.
Yeah.
And then
about like all the good qualities that you are actually bringing to the table.
And then you start asking yourself. Once you start, after a while, your insecurities will make you say, well, hold on. What am I getting out of it? I'm always chasing to make sure that this person is all right. But does this person really love me? What do they do? And sometimes we'll look over it. And then those insecurities that you have for having someone in a relationship, because that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Are you fine with what you get out of it? You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like that ends up like ruining a good situation, or because a lot of times, like at least in my experiences, like with dealing with men that get into that place of like, well, why does she like me? Like she seems like she got her shit together, this, that, and blah, 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 blah. Why is she with me? And where I've never even thought about it, it's never even crossed my mind to where I'm like, yeah, maybe he's, it's never crossed my mind. Like I just like good people, right? So where once all your insecurities start coming into play and it creates issues that are not ever there, like people start making gripes about things that, for me personally, like you start complaining about things that I've never said. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, you feel like this, and it's like, well, I've actually never said that. Right. Or like, you feel like you're better. They're like, what is it that I've done to make you think that I feel that way?
It's when an argument kind of comes out of limbo. Like, wait, where did this just come from? I thought we was having a good time, because that other party felt insecure about whether you were around somebody you said something, you looked a certain type of way. And I think where we are now, we say we're grown, we say we're adults, but in order to avoid conflict, we don't talk about the things that need to be discussed. We say we want communication in a relationship, but you also want to avoid conflict. You also want to avoid the arguments. So rather than opening your mouth to say, hey, this is how I feel about XYZ, and actually having a conversation about it, I think more it just turns into arguments, which actually ruins relationships.
Absolutely.
So insecurities can help and hurt relationships, in my opinion.
So in what ways do you feel like it helps?
I feel as though it helps because it makes you want to do better. You know what I'm saying? You feel insecure about a certain thing about yourself, to where you want to improve yourself for your significant other.
Okay.
In order to fix it. You know what I'm saying? But that is only for those who actually accept that insecurity.
Okay. Because I was about to ask
to be aware and acknowledge that insecurity.
Okay.
But when you go blindsided or you purposely ignore that insecurity, that's what's going to hurt that relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you feel like, okay, I feel like he or she is, too good for me, then you're going to make up every kind of excuse or reasoning to argue as far as, oh, well, why are you hugging that person? Well, why are you talking more to this other person rather than me? Because you have that insecurity, not necessarily saying there's an actual situation or issue at hand. So those are the ones who cannot accept or recognize their actual insecurities. And that's where we fall into, you can't say you're an
taking
adult.
it up on yourself.
You can't say you're an adult.
Yourself,
you can't say you're grown. You're being very selfish.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And this generation, I think, even with us being the ages that we are, the variety of ages, we still cannot sit here and say we're completely grown until we can sit here and have a sit-down conversation to say, this is how I feel, this is how I want us to work it out, and actually, communicate to work it out.
But see, the insecurities will keep you from going ahead and saying it. From going ahead and saying it.
Which that's
like
why
when it comes to your head, like just putting it out there.
Which that's why I say insecurities can help a relationship or it can hurt a relationship.
Correct.
It depends on how that insecurity is perceived.
Yeah. And it depends on how that other half, men or women, you know what I'm saying, make you feel. It's like okay, so like, like a man has to make, like a man's supposed to make, so I was talking about the going to the mall situation, right? And I put it in the women's scenario, right, for them being the men. But what about if I was going to the mall? What if I was that person? But I need to be that person to make sure that I continue to make, like, so if it was a beautiful woman that I felt like I didn't deserve, I need to, like, that's that insecurity of losing that person, of not having that person that I feel like I really like. But like, how long would I be miserable? And how long should I why would I keep on continuing to allow myself to be miserable and I'm not receiving the same
because
thing
of
that
something
I'm giving?
because of something that never actually happened. Because in your scenario, we're talking about a person that walks by that's attractive and a woman maybe glancing or looking at him. So we're talking about,
But past that,
but hold on, because we all have eyes.
Right.
There's attractive
True.
people in the
but
world.
past that, if you got in a relationship with that person, Ebony, then listen.
Wait, the person that walked by at the mall?
Yes.
Okay, we didn't get that far.
Okay,
We're gonna save
let's
that
go
for-
that far.
Okay,
then.
no, hold on. Because I feel like we're halfway too far into this one. We're gonna pick that one up in the next. We'll
Okay.
just do like the full
We
segment
can.
about that
We
shit.
can.
Because that causes insecurity
It does.
too. I'm sorry.
About people looking at somebody.
Yes.
We all have
If you-
eyes.
Well,
Wait,
I'm
yes,
outgoing.
you have, but no,
I think
you
okay, go ahead,
have
Kia.
eyes.
Hold on, because these two have been quiet.
Yes.
I need
Yes.
y'all to jump
And
in.
let
Let's
me
go.
tell you about Tut right quick.
Woo!
Yes. So listen. All right.
My
So
tea right here.
yeah, this is my tea. I'm about to pour it right quick.
Let me start.
Oh.
Blue Thunder.
Let me
Blue Thunder.
start.
Blue
Tell
Thunder,
me,
thanks so much.
Listen, because I'm gonna tell you. All right. So listen. Listen earlier. Let me I love to recap off the things that were said, right? Like when we first started talking, right? She was like, "Oh, I felt insecure about my weight," right? But then I love her weight. It's a 1,000 men that I can probably, I don't know, but I can probably count and just look at them and say, yeah, he love her, he love her, he love her. You know what I'm
But
saying?
like she said,
Yeah.
is that kids can be very
Correct.
very
Children
cruel.
are hard.
Yes.
It was something that I had to. It was something that I had to learn I mean, everything that I deal with, I've been thankful to be very introspective about myself. And like, I still feel certain things, but then sometimes I have to come back and back around and be like, like, no, pause that. Let's go forward with another emotion. Let's think about what's really going on. Why are you feeling this way today? What triggered that feeling today?
Yeah.
So when I'm feeling insecure about that, I'm like, okay, oh what? So what? The boy you liked didn't like you, you know, or didn't give you the attention you wanted today. Oh, okay, that's cool. Because tomorrow he's gonna be in my face again.
He'll be in your face again,
So
buying
don't
you
worry
a
about
drink
that.
and all
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
And that's what I was just getting at. That's why I brought you up. Men can be insecure as well, and they
I think
look.
they're
And
almost equally,
I think-
if not more.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't speak on it as much.
Y'all may
Yes,
not.
that's
Men,
what it is.
Men may
So
not
it
want to
ain't
show it
too-
because they're trying to be.
Because at
And
the
that's
end of the day,
facade in
at
front
the
of
end
their
of the day, they be
boys.
calling your phone to.
Yeah.
I don't know personally. I'm just. This is like what I know of what the people that I know. I bet they be calling your phone. Listen, they be acting like, oh, they want this. They want this. They be acting like they want what they want.
But
Because
I
secretly they'll
remember-
sit here and still text you and everything, but
Yeah.
trying to be funny in front of
Right.
their boys or
Yeah.
front in front of their
They
boys.
got- they better start-
Thankfully,
Wait,
I
people
haven't-
like grown people are still doing
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
I haven't
Yes.
experienced that in a long time.
Just stop acting.
Thankfully. Thank you. But I
Yeah,
think
they
that
do it. They
in
do it.
relationships, I think that in relationships in my past, the thing that I struggled with was the guys liking something in someone that looks different from me. And their norms were different from me.
Okay.
When you get me, I'm a dope ass chick. So you're gonna be like,
Yep.
the mold is broken here.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody ever gonna be cut from this cloth ever again.
Right.
The bar was
So-
raised, baby. The bar
Oh,
was
so-
raised.
So
I know
but
you had
it's
some happy
still-
niggas in your life.
But it's still one of those
Yes,
things
Jesus.
like
Tried you.
normally the guy like my ex-boyfriend from when I was like who I thought I would have been married to right now. He liked women that looked like you. You know, so every time I would see him with a woman that looked like you or talking to a woman that looked like you, it would be something that would make me feel like, oh, okay, well maybe this ain't gonna last, or maybe he really don't like me.
And that's
That
where I
his
was,
first black girlfriend.
and that's where I was coming with as far as
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
actions
difference.
men and women do can actually cause insecurities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can sit here feeling like you're in a good place, but when your guy or your girl sit there and look at somebody else or shows interest in somebody else, that brings insecurities into yourself. Like, well, dang, what is wrong with me?
Right.
Okay, but how are we looking? Because I think a glance, like a passing glance, I think is
I think
totally
it's
normal
a
and natural.
repetitive thing.
No, if it gets to be like
I think
weird
it's a
and you
repetitive thing.
like if I'm in a conversation with you and somebody walks by and you're doing this,
You
like
breaking your neck. Right.
Oh,
That's
you finna
just-
get chopped in the
that-
throat. You finna
that's-
get
that's
chopped in
one
the throat.
thing.
But
But
it's
it's like-
on a regular basis like
I ain't
that.
never seen
No.
security. That's a hoe.
But then on
that's what I'm saying. But I'm just
Right
saying,
there, right there.
hold on.
Got that hoe.
Tap that glass.
Got that hoe.
Tap that
Yes.
glass.
Got
That's
that
a
hoe.
hoe.
Yes. On the
Yeah,
flip
it's a
side,
whole
being
dude in
a
that whole nigga and
relationship
whole woman.
with someone who has insecurities over you, you need to learn. I mean, I wouldn't say you need to learn to, but you should learn how to deal with and how to help them through that. Because I dated
If
someone.
they accept
If they
it.
accept it. And this is like, okay, so another one of my exes, we went through some situations where he was uncomfortable. He would pretend he was okay that I had so many male friends. But
Oh,
then
fair.
when it came down to it and we got into an argument, he would assume that I was messing with one of them. Dude, you think I would have the audacity to bring you around? I might.
But some people
Yeah.
do.
Don't get me wrong.
Some people do.
But I did not with you because
was-
I respect you.
That was
You know what
sexy.
I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
But
All right.
that was the thing. And so
She said,
he
Okay.
I had to learn to be like, okay, that was the point when I had to learn communication better. Because I wasn't communicating something to him.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, but you keep saying communication. You can communicate with someone all day long. It's what they comprehend.
Right. And so with him, I was trying to work together. Like we were reading books and things like that. And it actually did not register with him then. We've been broken up for seven years or so. And now it's just now registering with him. It's just now where we can have a conversation. He can say, I understand what we were going through now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a whole
Yeah.
monkey wrench in that because sometimes that insecurity part is because a hit dog's holler.
I agree.
Because you doing dirt,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's making you insecure is because you know you doing wrong. So you're trying to reflect you know,
on somebody else.
onto somebody else.
Right.
Well, yeah, Cinderella wore that shoe too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True. So, you know, he or she could be sitting here upset with you about speaking to this person or hugging that person or spending time with that person because he or she is doing
Right.
the dirt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like, okay, these people go through all these hoops and antics and let me take you out, let me buy you this, let me take you that. But as soon as they get you, they forget.
What got you?
And
then-
What
Yeah.
really got
So
you?
it's like, okay, so you find somebody and they're like, okay, this is what I expect out of you.
Yeah.
And when they see another person come along, and they're like, oh, okay, well, this person might be able to continue to keep doing like what got this person.
True.
It's automatic red flag.
I understand that. And, but
Oh,
everybody
hold on,
got to, okay, so listen. All right, so look. So all right, back to the insecurity part though, right? It's different. So like listening, right? Like it's everybody has a different story of insecurity, right?
True.
So listen, I want to hear, and this is a question, and I'm gonna pass it around. Evan, starting with you, right? Because as we've been talking about it, and I know the viewers would like to hear all of us touch on different subject of insecurity. Because obviously from what I'm hearing, everybody has a different
Of course.
insecurity,
Yeah.
and it's 100 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for them to be able to comment, you know, for them to be able to touch on certain subjects, we're gonna give 5 minutes. 5 minutes to each person. You know what I'm saying?
That's too long.
Well, no,
2 minutes.
no.
That funeral, 2 minutes.
All right,
2 minutes. Look, 2 minutes.
60
All right, but
seconds.
listen. Just look. All right, 2 minutes. I agree with that. Right?
Yes.
2 minutes each person. Just one subject, and everybody give a real brief opinion of what that is, or what they feel like the problem
They've
is.
experienced or
What the problem is dealing with insecurities, like with yourself or with a
Other
person,
people.
or both.
Well, we were talking about insecurity with relationships. And stuff,
Oh,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Because I think there's because for me it goes both ways, right? So for me, like my insecurity in relationships would probably be like if how do I say this? Because there's like moments of where I'll notice certain people that it just seems like they go above and beyond to like appease everybody else. But then when it comes to me, it's like, oh girl, shit. Like, you know, it's
You're gonna be
whatever.
all right.
Right. It's you fine, it's cool.
Yeah.
But then you're around somebody else and it's like, oh, hold on, I'm really interested in what you have to say.
But is that
Right.
because? But is that
What
because
the
you
Right.
giving just not being honest and straightforward, like what Sid was saying earlier?
About me
Like,
being honest and
this
straightforward?
is a question.
No, in general.
Yeah, in general, like
In
when
general.
Sid was saying earlier, right? I love to recap. Like so, like what you were saying earlier, like not being yourself, not being straightforward, and then going ahead and being out, like saying how you feel, because like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely always have the conversation, and then it seemed that to me is probably like one of my biggest triggers, and then like I hate for like we were talking about earlier about the looks. Like if you get just like go above and beyond with like the disrespectful looks, that's an issue for me.
Right.
And like I fought so hard with my own insecurities that I don't even give that an opportunity to continue to be a thing. So
Right.
you get 3 times with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
3. And this is something that I stand fucking 10 toes
Yeah.
down every
Say it.
single time.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
get 3 times to
Yeah.
fuck up
Right.
because I'm gonna have a conversation after the first one. The second time it's like, okay.
Are you kidding it?
The third time it's like, oh, you just don't care.
You just
Yeah.
ignore
Yeah.
it.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
You don't
And
care.
that, see, and that's what's up.
So for me, I'm done after 3 times. But with dealing with insecurity with men, it seems just generally like how it's been in my life is normally like I have a tendency to date men that are not mentally on the same page, or like we're in 2 different books, you know what I mean? But me being me, and I just love people,
Yeah.
just like genuinely love people. I'm like,
It's hard to let that
okay, well
person go.
maybe you know, it's like maybe they just need to be exposed to more shit, or like maybe they just need to be in a different environment to really just kind of like unlock who they are. And I just I come into situations of like, how can what I know or my experiences help and benefit and uplift somebody else? But a lot of men they don't take it like that. They take it as like,
You're being
oh,
bossy.
you're talking, you're
Yeah.
bougie, you're
Yeah.
talking down to me, you're this, you're that, and it's like,
No.
Well, actually, no. I'm actually just trying to help you be a better version, or you
Right.
be
And not trying to
better-
give
Trying
up
to
on
help
you.
build.
Yeah.
right. I'm
Yeah.
trying to help like build you up
Yeah.
because it's like at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it does you. It really is a disservice for you as a man to deal with women who do not challenge you, push you, or let you know when you're
Say
fucking
it
up.
one
Hey,
more time.
hey, I know that's right.
Say
Say,
it one more time.
You know what I mean?
Say it a little louder.
Because-
for the
Yeah,
people in the
say
back.
that
People in the back.
I believe in
that.
that.
Yeah, you know what?
For the people in the back,
Come
because
on.
in
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
Hey, look, it's wine.
Blue
Hell
Thunder.
yeah.
Cheers.
Shit, 'cause look, hey, look, I believe in what you just said.
because that, I mean, and that's
That's
the
true.
truth, and that's like the doom of every relationship that I've been in
Yeah.
is they get so caught up in a place because I am very quick, and as I expect for anybody that I'm dealing with, if I'm fucking up, like please tell me
Yeah.
because I can't build a fucking house on sand.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're flaky and unreliable
You
and
better
this
speak.
and that and like
Hey.
it's hard.
That
It's
was
hard.
a-
Like
yeah.
I don't want to rely on like a paper boat in the ocean, baby.
Yeah,
Like
we gonna sink.
No.
We-
Ain't going nowhere.
No.
so if you're not able to really take in what I'm saying, because I know me and I know I have a sharp tongue. I be very direct.
But do you
No,
not
that's
want to?
okay.
Do you not say something because you don't want to be alone?
But I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, because like
No, she
No,
said
I
something.
say it because
I
I
don't take. Look, especially men, do not take corrective criticism
Mm-mm.
for
No.
anything. See, it's so much nurturing and so much loving you can do to an individual. But when you're in a boat with somebody and they're drilling holes in the bottom of your ship,
right.
it's really no help. It's no help.
Yeah.
If you are so used to being on this platform, and when someone is trying to elevate you, you're still trying to snatch them back down. Something is detrimentally wrong. And I've told all my brothers this. I've told all my nephews this.
Yeah.
Listen, don't be with a woman that can't challenge you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always push a button because you want to know why. I know someone
You
in the
don't know-
street's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I need to see your reaction. I need to know that at the end of the day, if I fall short on something, I need to know that the
Somebody
person
got
that
your
I'm
back.
sitting next to
She got
has
your
my
back.
back,
Yeah.
or whatever. I've
Right.
been with the same person for 1,800 years, and I never thought he would ever change on me, would ever turn his back on me. But even after 20 years, 20 years of picking this person up, dusting him off,
Yeah.
wiping his tears,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
fixing his collar, making sure he's straight. This man could literally look me in my face and walk off because I don't look the same way I did 20 years ago.
I feel like that's a majority male thing. It's surprisingly easy for men to
I
pick up.
disagree.
I call bullshit.
Go ahead.
You can only disagree on
I
your
disagree.
percentage.
Yeah, I know it.
On
Right?
your
But you-
percentage.
I'm just saying,
Because
Because it goes both ways.
you know, how many
Hey.
women do you know that have been like, I've been with this man for 30 years and I'm gonna leave him because he gained 20 pounds?
20 pounds.
None. None.
Yeah. Correct.
None.
Oh no, I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and be
yeah,
biased.
so I'm just saying,
Right?
like, so for as
Absolutely.
far as like,
I'm
men,
not gonna
men,
sit here
men
and
have
be
a
biased.
tendency to be more like superficial. It's like they expect so much from women. It's like, I want you to not change while you have let yourself go. You look different too, motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
you
And
know
I'm
what I'm
like,
saying?
Paul
and
Winslow.
Correct. And I'm
Right.
not
I'm saying.
Hairline
Look,
back in.
back
in,
And
what
I'm
I'm
still
saying.
looking at
But
you.
you still want me to
Yeah.
look top dog
And listen,
bomb.
and I
But then
can't
I want
sit
you to
here and
cook.
disagree
I
and lie
want you
to
to
y'all
clean.
face.
I want you to
Well,
work.
that's what I'm saying.
Why are you
Everything.
still staying with this man? No. Why? What are you holding on to?
Okay, but
How long does
it's-
it take?
okay.
Does
Love.
it take 20 years?
No, no,
Because when it comes
Love
to
me,
women,
love.
no, when it comes to women, our emotions are a whole lot more stronger than yours. As
All
far
right.
as men
And
in
yeah,
general.
sometimes it does take 20 years because people
Yeah.
get into a pattern and they get comfortable in certain situations. Because after the first couple, it's people that I know that's like, damn, bitch, you ain't been with him but for a year and a half,
Thank
and you scared to walk away at this point.
I'm so glad y'all said
Because
that.
you're
that
comfortable
goes back
in
to the
that
question that I
situation.
just asked you a second ago.
Mhm.
Is that an insecurity of being alone?
No.
No.
It's
No.
a fear. It's a fear of having to learn
Is it-
a new person all over again.
Yeah.
I don't
Having
want to
to
know what
see-
side of the bed
yeah.
you sleep on. I don't care how you like your eggs scrambled. I don't want to
Yeah.
know how you want your
Colors.
socks
You
on.
gotta learn this
Because
whole
I
new
have
routine.
no-
Yeah.
yes,
I don't
I'm
want to
saying
keep having the
don't-
conversation about your favorites of this,
Colors.
your
Yeah,
favorites
yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you something I'm into my 40s now.
Yes.
Let's be real.
I'm not.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not asking. I know ladies don't tell their age,
36.
I'll
right?
be 39
You
on
feel me?
Thanksgiving.
But I'm gonna tell you something that I'm going into. So
I'll be
this is so
Oh,
listen,
little baby.
This is something that this is something that's
Little
really
I'm still
starting to
telling
get
that lie.
something that I'm really starting to like not sugarcoat.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I don't give a damn. I'm not wasting no time. Like, all right, so you know what's more important now in my life is like, my time is valuable.
Exactly.
You feel me? My time is valuable.
From
You-
day
yeah.
one.
And I
Everybody's
understand
time is
that.
valuable.
Time
Yeah.
is money.
But like, so that's what I'm asking. Like, why are we, and I say we as men and women, why are we allowing it, and why did we allow it? And like, as we're growing older and growing into ourselves, why are we allowing ourselves
I
to
will
stick
say
around
this.
for something that's not? Because like, hey, say this.
You asked, allow us to
Yes,
answer.
go ahead.
Okay, so I stuck in a situation for 4 years
Right.
that I knew
Wasn't gonna go nowhere.
wasn't gonna go anywhere.
Wasn't gonna change.
Wasn't gonna change. I knew it from the get go.
Mm.
I saw the red flags. He told me
About
out
the
his
red flag.
mouth. He told me out his mouth, I don't want to be with you
So why would you still?
Because-
Never answer the
Yeah.
question, Pete.
I'm
because
sorry.
I stayed because I felt like, oh, I can show him that I'm a person he wants to be with, a woman he wants to be with. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this for him, I'm gonna do that for him, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and he's gonna magically fall in love with me. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Within that 4 years, yes, he loves me. He loves me.
Of course.
But he made the statement from the very beginning, I'm not ready to be in a relationship right now. And that statement doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be. That means I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Period. At the end of the day, that's what that means. That right now, it means absolutely nothing. I don't want to be in a relationship
You're right.
with you.
You agree?
I do agree with
I
that.
don't
agree?
because
I agree. Reason being is because when it comes to women, we try to build a foundation.
right.
We
Right.
try to put roots down.
Yeah.
You know, and
I agree with that.
you are different.
No, I
What
might
I
be
mean-
different, but I agree with your statement. What you're saying?
We are trying to
Yes.
build family, foundation,
Right.
roots. You know what I'm saying? A man, though, most men, not you, most men
Yeah.
are just trying to see the next ass they can get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to sit
She
here.
said,
Well, just to sit
Tap
here.
glass. I agree with her.
What do you
That's
drink?
Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
Yeah, nigga, it's said. See, go
Blue
ahead,
Thunder.
Sid. I'm sorry.
But
look, I
most
agree.
men
I agree
are
with what you
trying
said.
to get to see what's the next ass they can get.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to insecurities
got
because
ginger ale in
they're
there?
trying
Or you
to
just
sit
think it's
here
that?
and be the big dog on the
Yeah.
top
Right.
with their
I hate that
buddies.
too. That's so true.
But in deep down inside, when you're at home by yourself, you literally are sitting here, damn,
Right.
I liked her. Damn, I should have
Mhm.
acted right. But you're not going to do that in front of your boys
Yeah.
because your insecurities are going to sit here and try to make it seem like you King Kong when you're really not. You a little chimp.
Yeah.
Because,
Speak.
but you can't deal with a real woman.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once we get to a certain age to say, I'm a real fucking woman. I'm 10 toes down with you.
Yeah.
I can show you that I'm better than the next rando you pull around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn.
But then your feelings are going to be hurt because you're going to lose out
Exactly.
on that.
And so, to piggyback off that, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
4 years later, he was in love, not that he was in a, not that he was in love or anything like that, but he definitely loved me.
Mhm.
And now you see that I'm pulling away, and now I'm dating other people.
Yeah.
You said you didn't want me.
Boy, that's hurtful.
Right.
You
So-
didn't want me.
So again. Oh boy, that hurt.
That's
So
hurtful.
wait, as a man,
I'm thinking,
as a
yeah.
man at the table,
Ah,
I'm sorry,
I'm so
as
glad I'm
a
here.
man at the table,
I'm so glad I'm here.
what causes that? Like you sit here
Ignorance.
and
Absolutely.
you sit here and ignore
Ignorance.
or mistreat or disrespect, but
Ignorance.
then once you see that woman is happy, moving on,
Ooh.
smiling, then you sitting there
It hurts.
smiling with
It
the
hurts.
pretty face.
It hurt. I'm speaking for myself. I ain't gotta speak for no other man in the world.
Of course it's gonna hurt.
Yes. You
It
are
does.
absolutely right.
And
Well, look-
well, at this point, I've already cut you off. So
'Cause that's
that
what's
when
not done no more.
so when I said that I was done, you
It's,
asked me why I stayed in that for 4 years,
Yeah.
hoping
Yeah.
and wishing that you would change your mind, and you didn't.
But then after the 4 years, I'm through.
And now it's like, okay, now I don't care. I don't care if you eat. I don't care if you bathe. I don't care if you have a house over your
Yeah.
head. I don't give a damn
You
if you
fed
have
up.
a coat
Yeah.
on
That
your
woman-
job,
woman fed
shoes
up.
on your feet.
like the song
You can
say.
get the fucking
You
stuff.
tired.
You know what I'm saying?
And this
Yeah.
is
So
true.
that was the thing. And So yeah, I stayed because I wanted that man, and I wanted that man
And you
to
wished
get
the
his
best
life
for him.
right for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And he chose not to get his life right for me.
Yeah.
So I had to go.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And I
And
think
I agree
we've
with
all
you.
experienced.
Yes, and I
think
agree.
we've all
Because
experienced
women
that
will
to
hold
where-
on.
I
Yeah,
never,
women
I
will-
I
never
have been in
have.
a situation where I
Men-
held on thinking
Because I
it
agree.
would change.
Men
whether
will
it was
hold
off
on. Men
and
will let go
on.
faster than women. Women will hold on to us. Let me speak for myself.
Mm.
Out of experience, women will hold on.
Simultaneously.
This is it. This is it. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I experienced several times.
Mhm.
Women will hold on to a man longer than a man will hold on for a woman.
Of course.
We know that.
Listen,
That's a fact.
if it was several other men here in the same four on four,
Just like y'all
I
can
know
cheat,
this is the
cheat,
truth.
cheat, we'll take you back.
Yeah.
You see,
And
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 that's
that's
it.
one thing. It's like, oh no, the
Listen.
bitch
And
gotta
it's the
go.
fucking
So-
world.
let me sit here and go give another nigga some attention.
Yeah.
Oh, you a thought?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Or
Whoa.
the same attention that you allow him to give to anybody else.
Yeah,
Mm.
they don't like that.
No, but the grass ain't greener on the other side of the fence.
You ain't gonna like this petty
It's
attitude.
Well,
not,
then-
because I can be petty Betty right along with you. So
Right.
you want to be all 32 teeth in this one's face.
Yeah.
And you can be Mr. Glitter and Mr. Charm to this one. And then when you come over here, you want to be Mr. Dry.
Well, actually,
And then
Karma's a
I
bitch.
think
Actually,
that a lot of
that's
people
why I'm-
forget who they actually deal with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That part.
Then you forget who
That bad bitch in the mall that you met.
exactly. You
Was.
forgot that. You forgot
You forgot
that.
that I could have had any
Forgot
other
that you
nigga.
was
Any other nigga. That's the bitch
Chasing
you got.
down niggas because you wanted to be with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
forgot that
I chose you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's like the
I
perfect,
chose you, bitch.
I feel you.
perfect place to end this
Oh,
segment.
man.
Perfect place to leave that. I chose you. We will be back with our
That's a true
last.
statement.
If
I
Pierre
feel
stops
that.
talking, we will be back with our last beer.
All right.
Okay, so we are back. I did not pour the beer. I was supposed to pour the beer,
Oh, shit.
but as I'm pouring it,
Yeah.
we're gonna just go ahead and jump into our last topic.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I don't have to taste it. It's not an IPA this time. So we're gonna jump into our last conversation about insecurity and friendships and family. Nakia, since this was kind of your thing, I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
roll with it. Unless you go with that?
Sure. I didn't know which way we were going to go with it. I was just thinking about it. However, I will talk about this. The insecurity and my personal experience with insecurity within my family is feeling like the chosen one,
Mm-hmm.
per se. With my grandmother, she chose me as the grandchild to take care of and the one to, be around and always give her all to, and then the rest of my siblings just didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It will never know why. So that was an insecurity that I've always tried to make up for with my siblings, kind of overcompensating almost, it feels like. Always trying to make sure that we were always together. Once I knew about 3 of the 4 that were, 3 of the 6 that were outside of me. And it just was always a thing that I was always, I'm always trying to make sure that we're always together, that we, spend
Stay
time with
connected.
one
So
another,
equal.
stay connected. And I am, and I realized, to piggyback off that happens within my friendships too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm the one that's always in my friendships trying to make sure
Keep
that
everybody together.
Everybody together. Mm-hmm.
right. And I didn't realize that translated into my
Day-to-day
Your
life.
daily life.
my daily life until I sat back and thought about it. It was like, damn, like why am I always the one? But that's just always who I've been,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very important to me. Like, so I don't necessarily say that I get jealous of friends. So the friendship part of it, get jealous of friends when they make new friends. But if it's someone that I don't feel like
It's
Really?
worthy.
is worthy of you,
Yeah.
I'm like
Mhm.
cautionary. Like,
Mm-hmm. Like, what's
Yeah.
your angle?
Yeah.
yes,
What
what's
you
your
really here
angle?
for?
What,
Yeah.
what is your purpose here?
Yeah.
What is your purpose here? And so that makes me. Then I start looking at my friend like, why do you want to
Why
be
you,
friends with them?
yeah, why you not getting it?
Like,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
you want to be friends? Is it me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did I do something?
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I thought about the whole this portion
Okay.
of insecurity.
Well, I mean, I do think that that's actually a good one because, like I said earlier, just growing up, I have 4 brothers, 2 sisters, and all of us are so different. So I dealt with a lot of insecurity within my family too, because I was always the one that was a little bit outside of the box, right? So where I was always like, I just take everybody as they are, like I don't care, like you can be this
Straight
and
off
you
the
can be
street.
that, like straight off. I can find something in common with the homeless person to the investment banker,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
anywhere in the middle, like you're okay with me.
Right.
You're okay with me. But growing up, like dealing with the colorism, because my dad is Nigerian Scandinavian, so he's lighter complected than she is.
Really?
Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Yep. So then there was always so many comparisons between my sister and I, because she's light skinned, she takes more after my dad, and I take more after my mom with like the darker skin.
Same as me.
And so so it was like growing up with us both being girls, and everybody was like, oh, you know, it was always just like everybody was always trying to find a way to like pit us against each other, and I was like, this is my fucking sister.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
my sister.
Yeah.
And that happens so often in
Yeah,
families.
it's crazy to where it's like, and I started noticing like the reaction from other family members would be different. Like the way that they interact with me was always different than the way that they interacted with her. And even like looking at my brothers and the way, even like with my son, because my son is like, well, growing up, he's like browned out a little bit now, but growing up, he was always like fairly light skinned. And it was always a thing to where it was like, what is it that makes people treat others like so differently, even within like the same family, to where it's like we all grew up in the same place with the same parents,
Yeah.
the
Right.
same
Same
structure,
aunties,
Yeah.
same cousins.
same structure,
Yeah.
but have had completely different experiences.
Yeah.
And I know me and my sister, back when we first moved to Atlanta, actually did a study we did a study with like white men about why like they are more attracted to light-skinned black women. And
Really?
a lot of people were very honest. They're like, oh, well, you can get like all the black features that we like, but then they're like closer to white women. And I was like, what? And that really like opened my eyes to like, okay, so there is really like colorism, not only amongst like black people,
Yeah.
but white people
Yeah.
and everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I thought was like the most insane thing. And I struggled with that for a long time, because it was like, I'm not less than anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Because those DNA cells did whatever they did, and you know, I came out like this. It's just, you know, and I fought with that, and I would say within the last probably about
Honestly.
maybe about like 8 years.
Yeah.
The last 8 years have I been just like, listen, either you like it or you don't.
Don't.
You
Yeah.
can fucking
Right.
kick rocks,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, if you don't like it,
Yeah.
somebody else is.
Right.
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
And
right.
I just got to the point where I'm like, I don't know. But then again, it's been easy for me to be like very light switched too when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that, to where I'm like, I've never been a person to hang on to something that no longer served me. After like I give everything a certain amount of time, and once it gets past that point, then I'm like, yeah, this no longer
Yeah.
serves me.
Yeah.
And I got to say that's the one thing that I've been thankful and grateful for, just as me being me, with all the flaws that I have. Like that one, I've been able to like hear from like older people, and them telling me things, and me being able to take that and say like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not riding this shit out 6
Yeah.
years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. That's
Exactly.
6 years. I'm not gonna
It's
get
not
back.
me.
Yeah, you can't get
I'm not
it
gonna get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get it back.
Yeah.
But I know I got like really deep. So just on that, we're gonna pause.
No, I love
Take a
that.
quick break. This is Wild Leap. It's from LaGrange, Georgia.
What
It's
is
called
it?
Local Gold's Blonde Ale. It's from
Yeah.
another Georgia beer. So we're
Where?
just gonna taste this.
Oh, that's what's up.
It's from LaGrange.
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 Cheers.
Cheers,
y'all.
Salute.
Cheers.
Ching, 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 ching.
Great outlet.
It's stinky.
That's not bad.
Oh, this might be the best.
This is not bad.
This might be the
This
better.
is not
It is not
bad.
bad.
This the best. All right, so we.
I would kind of correlate
Okay.
this with Bud Light.
I would
Yeah,
do
this is nice.
Yeah.
My glass. Oh,
I'm gonna tap you again on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Ebony, tap my glass, man.
Okay, so I
Hell
don't
yeah,
like
this the best
pale
one.
ales, but I might like a blonde.
I might
You
like
might
this.
like a blonde ale.
So
I
I might
like
take this.
this.
Yeah. But say the name of this one again.
It's Wildly Local Goals.
Wildly Local Boy. Bulls.
Local Goals.
Gold. Oh, I was-
Okay.
I just saw.
All right,
I saw
back
Little
into the
Buffalo.
conversation. I'm sorry.
Okay, I like this one better than all of them.
Okay.
This is the go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a go. That's a go.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yes.
I like you did
I
this.
should have did that at the
You
end.
did
please.
this. Yeah, I'll take a little more of mine as well.
Thanks.
No, Eva.
I don't need any more, but it was
No, don't.
It was good. It was good.
All right, y'all. We're gonna.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah. Good
We'll
choice.
pass. We'll pass.
Good one.
Reel it in.
Good one,
Reel it in.
Eva.
Okay.
Thank you.
But then also, like in families, they create insecurities with you, like talking about you. Like they don't realize the things that you hear,
Right.
the things that you hear, and you know the snide comment. I know that when I was younger, it wasn't a family member, but it was the girlfriend and mother of two of my cousins, and the girlfriend obviously of my uncle. And I heard later on in my childhood that she looked at me when I was like 3 or something, or maybe even no more than 5, and she was like, her little fat ass.
Oh, she on the
And,
hell
you
on the
know,
express bus.
And it was like, and this
With the seafoam belt on.
and this
But people
person
don't
doesn't
realize how far
know.
that can go.
Right,
Yeah,
this
it actually
person
does
doesn't
affect
know
kids.
that I know she
Yeah.
said that about me. But it's just like, why do you talk about a child? You
Yeah.
know,
People are petty.
You
That's
know?
a different, that's a
I
different
think-
conversation. Different.
And
That
it-
is.
but especially at
Because
that
they
age,
feel
I
like
feel-
that child is not going to, you know,
But that
take
says
that
a lot about
in
you.
and you know, run with it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, these kids now,
Yeah.
they see all of that. They take it all in. They absorb it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But that really-
it
Even
runs
then,
with
though, even then,
As
I
an
can
adult
imagine myself
person,
in your shoes,
like,
man.
that's crazy.
Shit, I can imagine how far you taking that. Like the people don't realize how far did you take those things, man. Yeah, I know. I used to beat her, man. I used to take like when maybe not as early of an age, but damn, that means a lot. Like shit, that I've taken things that from early age to up far with me.
But-
that people wouldn't expect how far I would take him, and it'll hurt you a long
Yeah.
time.
But that goes back to, again, insecurities. You know, when we were younger, someone would say, "You thick." You would take that the wrong way.
Right now,
You know,
take
but
it
now
away.
you take it as
Right.
thick thighs
It's like,
save
oh,
lives.
yeah.
Hey! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
It's like me.
Oh, yeah.
right, like,
Yeah.
oh, you
Shit.
know, thick, you
Yeah.
know. But
I got a little
again,
You know what I'm saying?
that is where
Got a little arch.
children of certain ages take things differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you get older, you mature and take it a different way, you know?
Mhm.
So when you were younger, you thought it as an insult.
Right.
Now you take it as a compliment.
Right.
You know, as far as the African American,
Yeah.
you know, now Caucasians are taking this as a compliment, as being thick,
Mhm.
but
White people.
Caucasians,
No, what about white people though, Sid?
that's
How they
Caucasians.
take it? How they take it off? No.
We talking about Caucasians.
Caucasians and white people.
Karen?
Karen, how did Karen take it if you said to Karen? See, how
Karen
did
is
she
going to
take
call
it?
the police.
track.
She was
Okay.
I'm sorry, wait.
Hold on.
We are
Okay.
off topic.
Okay.
Reel it in.
We're off
Reel
topic.
it in. Reel
I'm
it
sorry.
in.
I
Going
apologize.
back to insecurities.
I'll be
You
quiet.
know, as a full-grown, an adult African American woman, you know, when a guy, whether he says it disrespectfully or complimentary, we still look at it like, oh, I'm thick, I'm good, you know, because men see it as that's sexy now
Mm-hmm.
versus years back. They wanted that bony
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, I see your chest bone type look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now we're in a generation where cushion is enough for the pushing.
But it's like it's always been more comfortable,
Yeah.
right?
True. But it's
Yes.
more open.
But
Right.
society, the
Sex.
Anglo society,
Correct.
has somehow convinced us that this is better, and I'm like, that shit don't feel good. Like, it
if
doesn't
you
feel
think
good.
about it, let's go back to old movies.
No offense.
Yes.
Let's go
No
back
offense.
to
I'm
old
listening.
movies. Let's go back to old movies.
Preach.
Professor Clump,
Mm-hmm.
Nutty Professor.
Mhm.
He loved the small woman. She
Mhm.
loved the big man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In actual society, a small woman is not going to see a larger man as attractive.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
In some cases.
Say that
In
again.
some cases,
Say that again.
in some cases, a
Say it
smaller
Yeah,
woman.
she was fluffy. She was like a size 14.
14,
Say
16.
that again. Say it again, sis.
Marilyn
Which part?
Monroe. But all of them back in the day, even
But that's what
further
I'm
back
saying.
than that, even further back than that,
Even
like
further
the
back,
ancient Greeks,
you
and
always
all,
love a
but
fluffy person.
always have. But
You've
like,
always
if you look
loved
at it,
us. It doesn't matter. Everybody talks about, oh, it's cuffing season. First off, I want a thick man holding me. I don't need no small man. No offense, bro. I love you.
Taken.
But I need a thick man, no neck, muscles all over to hold me because you don't have no body heat.
why you gotta do him like that?
No, she do me.
Because
we
do
feel
like
it.
that.
That's
That's
my
a whole stripper pole.
I know.
I can have fun with that. Hey, but stop. But
I got
as far
He
as
said he was his sister now.
exactly, that's my brother.
Yeah, we don't hold
But
on
at
back.
the end of the day,
No.
I want a
Where's
grizzly
church
bear.
fund?
I want some thickness holding me.
Where is
You know what I'm
the
saying?
fund, Lord?
Ain't no PG in this.
Hell no, it ain't.
This
Sis,
is
go,
cocktail
go,
and
sis.
combos.
Go,
None
sis.
has
Blue
anything
Thunder.
to do with
I know.
insecurity.
It
doesn't.
does. It does. No. I'm finna bring it right
Okay,
into
bring
it.
it in, Brent.
I'm
Bring
finna
it,
bring
bring
it where
it in,
it
girl.
brings
Bring it
into
in.
it.
Okay.
Because you can sit here and be with your homegirls. Oh, girl, he ain't nothing. He ain't this. He big. But at the end of the day, you gonna call that big dude,
That.
baby, Zaddy, come on over.
Yeah.
Come on over and hug me real quick.
Yeah.
And the same thing with men.
Until you
Men will
find,
sit
until
here.
you find out his
No
dick
neck,
small,
no neck.
then you be like,
Oh.
then they be like, skinny
You gotta go
nigga,
home.
fatty. I'm
But-
sorry, I'm joking. All right,
But again, this is where
It's-
this is where insecurities
Okay.
are brought in. In men. Men will sit here and try to act like, oh, she a big girl, I don't really like her, blah blah blah, in front of his buddies.
Yeah.
But be in their phone,
Yeah.
hey boo, come on over.
Right.
That's
Right.
what
I need
that's
some
what
love
we
and
talking
I
about
need you.
earlier.
So
But that's
again,
another conversation we need to have. It's
Whole
about-
part-
Yeah. Male insecurity. That's male
No,
insecurity.
hold
We're
on.
gonna
The
talk about-
we're talking about like
The image of
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
phony.
Yeah.
mm,
The fakeness.
Yeah.
Because, baby.
It's
Yeah.
a nice table. We got a tablecloth on.
Okay.
We
So
gonna
what
try
we
to
were
be-
talking about, though,
Yes.
to reel it back in, was insecurities within friendships.
Friendship.
and
We
family.
went
In
way out.
relationship.
We went
Well,
way
y'all just
out.
went.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all went.
And
I mean, it
relationship.
did go. It did go.
No, it's hard. It is hard being somebody's anything and everything. And with those insecurities, they have to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to nurture people, you have to love people, but then sometimes it's very hard for them to give it back.
True.
Right.
Especially if you're
They may be afraid.
you're
Yeah.
in a
But
better situation.
Also,
or just,
too, not to cut you off, but like what you just said, I think some people just were not raised in families that taught them this structure, right? So there's a lot of adult people out here right now that are like really hurting because they're later in life, 40 years old, and have never learned like the basics about how to be comfortable with themselves,
Right.
or how to be like feel enough within themselves, or care about people, or actually know what loving a person feels like. So there's so many people out here that are still coming from like a 12-year-old space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's that. I know for me that's the balance that I've been trying to find in dealing with certain. Oh shit. Pause.
Damn.
Oh shit.
So we're down to like a different format because our camera number 2 died and they fussed at me last time. So we
Yeah.
all gonna be
So
together. We are gonna about to be wrapping this thing up. Does anybody have final comments that they want to make in regards to everything that we've talked about tonight? Pierre, as the only guy
You really
I-
started
you
that
right.
way
Okay.
first.
Hold on, hold on.
She ain't
Okay.
get here. We
She
gonna
didn't mean
go.
that. I didn't
No,
mean
no, no.
Pierre. I didn't mean
I'm
Pierre.
actually, listen.
I didn't mean
Ladies,
Pierre. 2
ladies,
minutes, Pierre.
2 minutes.
Two.
And ladies,
Funeral,
listen,
2 minutes.
Listen, funeral 2 minutes, and I really, this is a question that I want
Oh,
each one of y'all to answer, right?
Yeah.
Listen, all right, so I've never dated a woman that, like, we're talking about insecurities, that didn't have broken mirrors already. Like, it seems like every time I date a woman, right, it's something, that mirror have been broken, and I'm trying to replace and fix
You can't.
cracks.
You can't.
That's
Can't.
right?
I
So
mean,
listen,
But your partner is supposed to
Insecurities.
be a reflection of you.
well, I understand
So
that.
if that person's
Insecurities.
broken,
So listen,
9
if
times out of 10
but if I'm
they're
being
reflecting
myself
something
though,
broken.
sis, if I'm being myself, and I give you all of me, and I'm being honest, because that's what our queens have not been getting from men, and that's why
Very
we
true.
have fallen into a stigmatism of being dog ass niggas. Am I wrong?
True.
Well, some
Right.
of y'all are just dog ass niggas.
I'm not denying that.
Yes.
But look,
Yes.
for the on the
I don't-
men's side.
it's not falling into a stigma. Some of y'all
You
are just
are dog ass motherfucking
Okay.
niggas. I'm
Some of
sorry.
y'all are just
All right, so listen.
Some are not all.
For the men,
Some are,
listen.
some
Let
aren't.
me speak for the men because I'm the only male here,
Okay.
right?
Well,
This
somebody
is
said
a
it,
question.
Tyler.
This is a
He got 1
question.
minute.
Why? All right, so this
60
is
seconds.
the question. What are we supposed to do? All right, so listen, insecurities, right?
Stay
What-
consistent.
All right.
Yep, that's
That's
key.
it. Consistency.
That's it.
That's the end. That's the
So,
answer to
you
your
can't
question.
sit
That was my
here-
question. I'm done.
That's the answer.
Y'all,
Right.
now give us men out here and the viewers for the men
Consistency.
answers.
Consistency.
Consistency.
All right.
You can't sit here and say you want a woman like this, XYZ, then you experience, her negative side from what she's experienced, then you want to give up. If you are consistent with the attitude, with the emotion, the strength that you have, stay consistent with it to where we know, oh shit, this is something different.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Let me go ahead and tear down some of them walls
Mhm.
to give you me, so I can give you my 10 toes
Yeah.
down and
Yeah.
rock with you as the queen
Yeah.
that I should be.
I remember hearing a woman.
But
say,
I could sit here and
Right.
give you mine and think that, okay, well, you changing, but as soon as I tear my walls down, you become that fuck ass nigga.
Right.
That's a nice right.
And then I don't want to deal with you no more. So you're dealing with another shattered mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's consistency. Don't sit here and do it for 2 weeks, 3 days, 48 hours.
3
And
months.
It's forever.
6 months.
It's
The
forever.
same
It's
energy
forever.
you
Consistent
give to
consistency.
get that person, you
Yeah.
have it has
If
to
you
be
want,
maintenance.
if you got me a certain way, continue
Yeah.
to keep me in that same manner. Don't sit here and get me in this certain way and then turn around and you sitting on the couch playing PlayStation 24
Yeah.
hours and all of a sudden I don't see you no more.
This ain't-
I don't get the dates no
Yeah.
more. I don't get the little,
Child.
Yeah.
the little gifts here
Messages
and
and
there.
text messages.
The
Message.
affectionate.
Yeah.
I don't get that no more,
Yeah.
bruh. You out. You a fuck ass nigga.
How you feel about that,
Yeah.
Joe? How you feel about that?
That was personal.
I'm
She
sorry.
really-
No,
she
it
really
wasn't.
felt that.
I'm sorry.
Look, how you feel
Look,
about
it
it?
don't cost $1 to be real.
It don't.
I'd rather someone tell me, listen, this is me. These are my imperfections, my idiosyncrasies.
Mhm.
I snore. I gamble 4 days a week.
Yeah.
I'd rather you be straight up with me and let me know this is who I am. The smoke and mirrors,
Yeah.
it's just not.
You
gonna
can't
Sis,
work.
what you think about it, El?
I'm just saying, like, the fakeness you cannot maintain. You can maintain it for a little bit of time, but at any given point with anything, all things fake
Come to
have
life.
it. They
Don't ask
they
for
fall off.
something real when you're not ready to
Yeah.
accept it.
But no, you can't ask for something real when you are not real.
Right.
Right? So if you are not capable or in a space of where you can say, "Hey, I'm messed up over here.
I'm so glad I asked this
I'm messed up." And I know sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes the thing is I think that there are so many broken men that they don't even recognize that they're broken, that they continue to like leave a trail of
Yeah.
broken women
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
because they're not right
And
with
don't care.
themselves. But then they take their brokenness and pass that shit on 45 times over
Yeah.
from woman
Victim.
to woman to woman to woman,
Yeah.
and then wonder like, why are these women acting like this?
How you feel about it?
I agree with everything that they're saying. Like, you definitely.
Everything that they're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency, one is key
Mhm.
in regards to dealing with someone. We have to be true and honest with each other.
Mhm.
Like, there's no way possible that you're going to be able to sustain anything without truth.
Okay. All right. So look, I'm like,
We have to wrap this up,
we can wrap it up
Pierre.
I
We are in
apologize,
final.
because I didn't got the answer.
It's
Really.
his first time, y'all.
It is my first time.
It's
I
his
still
first
haven't got
time.
the answer. And see, I know you want to say something.
Hold on.
Listen.
What question are you asking?
Because listen. All right. So let me
Ask
ask
a
personally.
direct question.
Let me ask a direct question.
Okay. you
All right,
sound
so,
like
'cause
me
I'm not
and
every
him.
man.
We need to
I'm not
break it
every
down.
man.
We
And I've
need
been
other
quiet this
guys
last.
on this panel.
Listen, we do, because I've been quiet this last panel, this last section.
You the whole.
I listen. If you rewind this, look, I've been mostly quiet.
That is
because
incorrect.
listen. I
Sorry,
just
go ahead.
always say amen, or I agree, or I
Okay.
don't agree.
So you
Go ahead.
go
But
ahead and
look,
say what
one
you
thing
want
that I really want to say for myself and for men that are good men, because it's like it's still some
Rare.
rare, but we still out here, and
I
this
don't
runs
even think
us
it's
off.
as rare as we think that it is.
And it
I don't
isn't.
think
It
so.
isn't. But then let me tell you what. Another thing. I asked that question. That question I asked for a reason. Man, what y'all just said was clarity to everything that I wanted to say. Right? Oh, 3 months 2 weeks, 9 weeks, or whatever. But when I give it, I'm speaking for myself. And this is one thing that makes the rare that goes away into extinct. You know what I'm saying? Is that, oh, well, the broken mirrors, and when I give you that, okay, you said 6 months, you said 9 weeks, and I said a year. You know what I'm saying? When I give you that year of showing you compassion, love, breaking that insecurity, what this is about, you know what I'm saying? Breaking that insecurity. How long should I have to take for you to deal with that insecurity? So my question was, when you started,
when you're done with it,
when should I stop? Because that's a question that I'm dealing with myself.
Because
when you're done. Because it depends on the type of. It depends on the type
that women always go back to, what she experienced in the past.
And those are the type of women that will not let go.
Her that I'm a different person. And this is something that I'm dealing with. So I'm asking y'all as my sisters, as a question that I'm really dealing with in real life. Why the fuck I can't get to that answer?
Not built the same way.
Right.
So how long am I supposed to?
That you walk away from your partner. It used to be shunned upon that you get divorced. It used to be shunned upon that you have children by all these different people. Now it's an ordinary and a normality. Because if you won't do it, well, screw it. I can just go over here and grab one on the corner. And if he won't do it, then I can go grab one over here on the bus stop. And if he won't accommodate, hey, I can snap on my phone and have a pick or choose of 400 to 5,000 men on the swipe of a dime. It is conveniency.
Well, why shouldn't I swipe on a dime when I put in the same thing as Nakia said earlier about the 4 years and 4 years that she felt like she was down for that person.
But it had the same result.
As a good man.
It had the same ending result though. So the question that you're asking is one that's one of these things that really the issue here is you are in a different place than this person is. I don't know who this person is, but you guys are not in the same space. So if she's not able to say, hey, he's different. There's nothing. I don't give a fuck. You can blow bubbles up her asshole, and she's not gonna. It's not gonna be.
She's not ready to accept it.
She's not gonna be the person.
She's not ready to accept it. As far as a woman who has been through, all the hurt, the pain, the disappointment. If you have a man who has shown you consistency for 6 months or more, you ain't changing. You haven't strayed away. Then a real woman that's ready to accept will open her door. But when you have a woman who is not ready to accept, she shouldn't have even gotten in a relationship because she's not ready. Right. She hasn't healed herself.
What happens is we all end up in relationships because the flesh controls the mind.
Correct.
And so
when your flesh starts to itch, and you start to feed into that desire of the flesh, then that becomes repetitive, and then you find yourself in a situation with somebody, and then now you're always with that person, and you end up in this relationship. So that's how you end up in relationships that you're not ready for.
It's like a carousel. You just keep going around and around and around until you are ready to say, I'm getting off. I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
So when enough is enough for you, that's when it's enough.
So she had a 4-year. I had an off and on 4-year. All of us have had some type of repetitive, on and off situation to where you finally get to a point to where nothing's going to change. I'm done. I'm tired.
I agree with that too, see? And that's me being a male, let me just speak this. I agree with what y'all saying. I'm totally in agreement. Listen, I know my brothers have not been doing what they're supposed to. But so when I hear women say,
and that's why females are not doing what
are you checking them?
Okay.
I do
on some real shit. But like, bro, you fucked up for that.
Yes,
you can check them till Tuesday. That's still gonna be fucked up.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, y'all.
Yes, that's a great question.
Because you have a lot of guys with going back to insecurities. You have a lot of guys who will not check their homeboys
when they're doing something to a woman that they know is good for.
You can sit here and know the chick that he dealing with is a good chick to him.
Yeah, they don't care.
But your insecurities because you're trying to be that homeboy, that buddy and everything, you won't say nothing.
Correct.
And again, that falls back on
but those be the
your
same
maturity level.
Yes.
You're right.
Also with women though, knowing that it's a big old difference, 90 to 10%. Man, y'all ain't got it. Y'all don't have it. Y'all don't have it like we have it. We have 90% of women that's gonna do great by us, and 10% of women. This is just my scenario. We have 90% as men, 90% of women that's gonna do great by us, and 10% that's not.
I feel like
But
that number was a
that's
little
That
high.
number is
a little high.
It is high. But
That's
that's
high. I was like, because I know some
Glorified.
really
Listen,
women.
and I said that I said that number.
Hold on, we
I'm
can't
sorry.
keep talking over each other because
Oh,
everybody's
sorry.
like, what the fuck?
What
I
are you
can't hear
gonna do?
nothing.
So are you gonna keep on running that
Can't hear
10%
nothing.
off?
Okay, no, but that 10% gets glorified. So many men
Does
have
it?
broken wing syndrome. They don't want a woman that can stand on
Hello.
the phone. They want one that they can have to pick up and cariño and all this other
Oh.
nonsense.
You gotta
You
speak English.
cannot
Yeah.
look somebody in the face that stands on the same platform with
Yeah.
you and feel still the same. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
Yeah.
the same equal. They want someone that they can look down on
And
because
control,
that person
Not
will
all
take
of it.
whatever they're given.
A
What
lot of times.
about my 10% though?
Okay, but those are the 10 that get wedding rings. Those are the 10 that
You
can
right.
stand outside and do no wrong in thongs and booty shorts and some
But
stilettos on,
she's
and
right.
they're all right with it.
And that leads into
I just,
the
I
other
agree with disagree as well.
But no, because I mean that can statistically be proven. The fact that like so many successful black educated women, largest group of unmarried people, period.
Hands down.
Period.
Hands down.
Successful black women.
Strong.
So nobody's wifing the lady that's like gonna tell you, you fucking up, bro. Like, what you doing? What you doing?
Again,
They don't want that. They want the one that's sitting over
You
here
feel
like,
some type
I
of way
feel
because
like
we
yes,
correcting you on your shit.
they
We trying
don't
to
know.
get you on
Absolutely.
that level with us.
Yeah.
And you feel some type of way. You
That
feel
job
some
round and you go.
insecurity. You feel some type of
All right,
belittling
we
to
don't
where
have
you
to
can't
wrap
accept
this
that.
up.
I'm
We don't
sorry.
have to wrap this thing up.
Pierre. Wrap it up,
Okay, we're
Em.
gonna skip over Pierre. 'Cause he
Skip
don't,
over me.
he don't know how to act.
I don't.
Kia, you got any last statements?
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Take care of your mentals. Reflect on your own thoughts, you know, and be mindful and conscious of it. I mean, we hearing it a lot right now, you know, positive affirmations and things like that. But it's very important for us to catch ourselves when we feel down and to check it. And I'm not saying don't feel what you feel, because I believe everybody deserves to feel what they feel and go through every emotion equally, but don't sit in it.
Okay.
Don't sit in it, and your insecurities will be what they are. But if you believe in yourself, you'll be fine.
Okay. Angel, what you got, Bill?
Exactly. Don't squalor and don't waste a minute of your life on anything negative. If it's not beneficiary to you, if it's not there to push you or elevate you, please, family, just smile and wave, practice your Miss America, and walk off, because you can't get those days back. You can't get those
I agree
minutes
with that
back. You can't get any of that back. So please do not waste
That's
it.
true.
All right, Sid.
I would say, you know, acknowledge your insecurities. You know, if you have to take time away from friends, you know, relationships and things in order to find yourself, you know, acknowledge, accept your insecurities, so that way you know what hurts you, what doesn't hurt you, so you don't bring it into the next relationship or the next friendship or so. Take your time, be an adult, you know, don't say you're an adult and don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
Be an adult and be able to accept the criticism and such, and look into yourself and accept, or, you know, make yourself aware of these insecurities that you actually do have that you may try to avoid.
Amen.
Okay.
Blue Thunder.
We don't have no more
But it's okay. Blue Thunder anyway.
It's a little bit.
Go ahead, April.
Okay.
Let me hear what you do.
So, I guess my ending words would be to just give a little grace, because everybody has some broken part about them. So, I think if we as people just get to a space of saying and acknowledging, here's where I fall short, and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to, nobody's perfect, right? We all have our shit. We all have things that we're dealing with, but just being kinder and saying, hey, you know what? You're broken and that's okay. But it's also okay for me to not allow your brokenness to keep dumping buckets of water in my boat.
Now,
because I have to keep moving. I have to keep moving.
I know
now either your boat matches mine and we gonna ride along together.
Yeah.
Or it's like, hey, love you, but you gotta get off my boat.
I'm gonna sail on.
Gotta get off my boat.
Speak.
I gotta keep going.
Wine. Where your glass?
I gotta keep
Preach.
going.
I know that's right.
But anyway, so that's
true.
That is the end of this episode of Cocktails and Convos. Thank you so much for joining us. I just want to thank all you guys for coming. Some of you last minute. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, send comments, send ideas that you guys want to talk about or want to hear about. And again, if you want to come join us, please feel free to let us know so we can, fit that in our schedule. But until next time, friends.
Peace.